Splitting the 3 dances plus super powerful female lead plus following the leading group, the overall story leans towards the middle too. The genius young master of Qingshui Sect, Luo Qingyue, accidentally appeared in the anime she had watched after being killed by her fellow senior sister, and then embarked on the path of being favored by the protagonist Tuan Tuan. I thought wearing books was just an accident, but I didn't expect it to be just a result of incomplete memory. After restoring memory, Tang San looked at Luo Qingyue with bloodshot eyes and said in a hoarse voice, "Yue, don't go, okay?" Luo Qingyue glanced at her fragmented body, and the corners of her mouth barely drew the first mock examination of radiance. San, I have been there all the time. When you become stronger, I will take you to see where I was born. P.S. This book is divided into 3 dances. If you don't like it, please don't enter. The introduction may have some deviation from the original textbook friend group. 720291449 keywords of the novel. After crossing the Douluo continent, I became a group pet without a pop-up window. After crossing the Douluo continent, I became a group pet. Download the complete text. After crossing the Douluo continent, I became a group pet. Read the latest chapters. Chapter 1. Encountering Tang San by chance. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 1. Encountering Tang San by chance. A little girl covered in blood looked like she was only 4 or 5 years old, constantly running in the forest, as if there were some fierce beasts chasing after her. Ah! As I was running, I suddenly stumbled over the vines in front of me. The blood on my body mixed with the soil on the ground, like a bloody person crawling out of a mud pit. Luo Qingyue got up, looked at her knee that had been broken, and then thought of her own experience, and for a moment burst into tears of grievance. She was originally a genius young master of the Qingshui Sect and a precious member of the sect. However, after being betrayed and killed by her fellow senior sister during a training trip, she ended up in this world called Douluo continent. And her parents in this lifetime, who were ostensibly the richest man in a village called Holy Soul Village, were actually the masters of a hidden world sect. She is not sure about the specifics. As for why this scene happened just now, it was all because the unlucky system released a task to exercise the body, so that while running, I met a bandit who came to rob me. I felt itchy and killed a few people. I was afraid that the opponent's powerful person would bother me, so I hurriedly ran away. And just now, because I was too anxious to see the way, I tripped over the vines on the ground. Woo, why is she so unlucky? Just as Luo Qingyue was feeling aggrieved and wanted to cry, she handed over a handkerchief with one hand and said, "Little sister, are you okay?" Luo Qingyue looked up in confusion and saw a little boy about her age standing in front of her. The boy was slightly bent over, his pale blue hair accentuating his wheat-colored skin and increasing whiteness. His blue eyes carried a hint of laughter, yet remained gentle. The boy saw her stunned and raised his hand to help her dry her tears and bloodstains. "My name is Tang San, little sister, what's your name?" "My name is Luo Qingyue said as she blinked her silver eyes, revealing a hint of confusion. Silver-white eyes. The surname Luo. Tang San thought to himself, "Are you from the Luo family?" Luo Qingyue thought of the rumors about herself in the village and said awkwardly, Yes." Tang San looked at her in surprise and said, "How could you be here?" Luo Qingyue, the precious daughter of Luo Shofu, has silver-white eyes and long hair. According to people in the village, Luo Shofu's daughter was caused by some strange illness. Her body was so weak that she could easily collapse in the wind, panting and coughing every 3 steps, and her face was pale and not very red all year round, as if she was about to breathe in the next second. Because Luo Qingyue is usually lazy to go out, this rumor has been further confirmed. Now it seems that the rumors may be true. This girl is really pitiful, she should suffer such a crime at such a young age. At least, Tang San now thinks, "I'll take you back. Can you leave on your own? If it really doesn't work, I'll carry it on your back." Luo Qingyue looked at the boy in front of her with sympathy and pity in her eyes. Combined with what she had just said, she knew that he had believed the rumors in the village and was suddenly speechless. Actually, I'm not as pitiful as rumored, and I haven't had any strange illnesses. I'm in good health, but I just look fragile. Tang San put on a look of understanding and said, I know, there's no need to explain, I understand. You don't understand anything. I can tell from your expression that you must have misunderstood something again. Come on, I'll carry you back. Tang San squatted in front of Luo Qingyue. Luo Qingyue looked at the boy in front of her and had already given up struggling. After all, she was used to it, and every time she explained to the villagers, no one believed her. So, Luo Qingyue felt at ease and lay on Tang San's back, letting him carry her down the mountain. Anyway, she injured her knee, that's it. It's not that she was lazy, she explained, but no one believed it. As for why is this happening? Just because the reward for one mission was fragile and sick beauty, she clicked to use it out of curiosity. When her mother saw her like this, she was also startled and thought she had some illness, so she went around seeking medical treatment, which led to a series of rumors. Can be system. After thinking for a moment, Luo Qingyue felt quite embarrassed if she didn't speak, so she casually brought up a topic and said, "Are you the son of that blacksmith in the village?" Tang San didn't expect her to ask like this, yes. Oh, why were you on the mountain so early? Watching the sunrise, what about you? Why are you here? Exercise your body. Luo Qingyue refused to explain further. As they spoke, the two had already arrived at the door of the Luo family. Tang San put her down and said, "All right, you're home. I should go back now. Goodbye." Goodbye, that. What's wrong? Do you go to watch the sunrise every morning? Yeah, do you want to come together? Okay. See you tomorrow then. Luo Qingyue saw that her goal had been achieved and ran happily into the room. Tang San looked at her back and thought to himself, what a lovely little girl. Unfortunately, I have to endure the torment of illness at such a young age. Tang San sighed and turned towards the direction of the blacksmith shop. This is my first time writing a novel. I have a lot of support and don't complain if you don't like it. Thank you, lovely and kind. End of this chapter. Chapter 2. Choosing to become a soul master. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 2. Choosing to become a soul master. In the following days, Luo Qingyue basked in the sun with Tang San every morning. When Luo Qingyue returned home, she saw a woman busy in the kitchen. There are not many traces of time left on the woman's face. If she didn't say it, no one would know she was almost 40 years old. Looking at the woman busy with breakfast in the kitchen, Luo Qingyue's eyes were soft and low. This is her mother, dear. Thinking of this, Luo Qingyue shouted happily, "Mommy! I'm back." Luo Yulan looked at her daughter covered in blood and asked with a heart-wrenching expression, "Oh my, where did this go? How did it get like this? Hurry up, go wash it clean, and I'll give you some medicine." Okay, Mommy. After finishing breakfast, Luo Qingyue returned to her room and said, "The system will retrieve the personal information table. Name. Jiuyou Qingyue. Jiuyou's surname is too prominent, so she took her mother's surname before the second awakening of the martial soul. Gender. Female. Age. 5.5 years old, 1 month to 6 years old. Bloodline. Half demon and half god, not human in any case. Vitality. 100 out of 100, the degree to which one hand can crush. Spiritual power. 100/150, little kid is little kid. Spiritual power. Peak of spiritual master, unable to level up before awakening the martial soul. Soul power. Temporarily unavailable skill. Sick beauty, disappears after awakening the martial soul. Martial soul. Currently unavailable equipment. Tarot card, can be used by injecting spiritual power. Ice water dream, storage device, can be used by injecting spiritual power, a total of 60 cubic meters, property. 12 gold soul coins, you're just a little richer than the average family, keep working hard. Luo Qingyue looked at the words in the parentheses above and had an impulse to hit someone. System, we can be less humane. No way, dear. At this moment, Luo Yulan knocked on the door and said, Yue, are you inside? Mom has something to discuss with you. Luo Qingyue regained her senses, put away the system interface, got up, and went to open the door. Mommy, come in and talk. She said. There was a small desk in Luo Qingyue's room, and the mother and daughter sat in front of it. Luo Yulan gently asked, Yue, do you want to become a soul master? Luo Qingyue blinked and said, of course I want to. By becoming a soul master, I can protect my mother and even go find my dad. Speaking of Luo Qingyue's father, Luo Yulan's eyes were a bit dazed and she said, well, why don't Uncle Robin come tomorrow to awaken your martial soul? Mom, aren't I with the children in the village? Luo Yulan didn't know what was on her mind, and her face changed slightly. No, Yue's martial soul is a bit special. Then, without waiting for Luo Qingyue to ask any more questions, he quickly said, all right, Yue, this matter is settled. Can you help your mother go to the blacksmith shop and find Uncle Tang how to make a whip? Mom will teach you how to whip. Aren't you always eager to learn? Okay, Mom. After waiting for Luo Yulan to leave, the silent system suddenly said, if you don't want to become a soul master, you can also choose to be an ordinary person. Luo Qingyue was a bit stunned and said, ordinary people. Can I really do it? The system's tempting sound rang out again, of course, as long as you want. Forget it, I've never been ordinary before and won't get used to it. Moreover, I hope to have the ability to protect the people I want to protect. So, your choice is, isn't it obvious? I want to choose an extraordinary path. Didn't I choose it right from the moment I came into this world? Luo Qingyue chuckled lightly and said. Okay, as you wish, I'm really looking forward to the future days. Who said it's not? For the first time writing, feel free to point out any shortcomings, but please be gentle a little. Thank you. End of this chapter. Chapter 3. Martial Soul Awakening. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 3. Martial Soul Awakening. The sun is rising, and purple air is coming from the east. Tang San and Luo Qingyue were absorbing the purple energy brought by the sun. After a while, Luo Qingyue opened her eyes first and looked at Tang San, who was still practicing next to her. She lay aside, closed her eyes, as if she was really sunbathing. Tang San woke up and saw Luo Qingyue lying next to him. An imperceptible smile appeared in his eyes, not even realizing it himself. After an unknown amount of time, Luo Qingyue spoke up and said, Tang San, do you want to become a soul master? Tang San thought that he would go to the martial soul awakening this afternoon, and he had some vague expectations in his heart. Of course I want to. Becoming a soul master can protect the people I want to protect. Do you want to protect someone? Luo Qingyue looked into the distance with a daze in her eyes. So, who do you want to protect? Upon hearing this question, Tang San's eyes were unusually firm. Protecting my family and the people I love. What about you? Are you becoming a soul master? Think about it. Tang San glanced at her and said, why? When Luo Qingyue first came across, the system said, because you are not a person from this world, and you have demon bloodline, even if you still have half of the divine bloodline, you will not be favored by heaven and earth. Sooner or later, you will be erased by the laws of heaven and earth. So, only by becoming a soul master and becoming stronger, can you have a chance to survive. In order to survive and protect everything I cherish, Luo Qingyue's eyes flickered. Tang San was somewhat surprised and didn't know what to say for a moment. He could feel that everything she said was sincere. For a long time, Luo Qingyue took the initiative to say, I'll go back first, otherwise my mother will worry. Oh, by the way, can you help me deliver the whip after Uncle Tang Hao finishes it? Okay. When Luo Qingyue returned home, she saw a head of blue hair, a delicate face, and light blue eyes full of tenderness. Robin, dressed in a blue shirt, was talking to Luo Yulan about something. And Luo Yulan's beautiful face was full of entanglement and reluctance, but when she saw Luo Qingyue come in, she returned to her usual gentleness. Yue, you're back. This is your Uncle Robin, here to help you awaken your martial soul. Luo Qingyue blinked and obediently shouted, Hello Uncle Robin, my name is Luo Qingyue. You can call me Qingyue or Yue. Robin looked at Luo Qingyue in front of him with some surprise, and quickly looked at Luo Yulan. Qingyue hasn't awakened yet. Luo Yulan was also very helpless. No, it has been like this since the first time she fell into the water. However, after awakening her martial soul, she can change back. Although the reason is not yet clear, it has not caused any harm to Yue. Alright Robin, let's help Yue awaken her martial soul first. We don't have much time left. Okay. There is a basement in Luo Qingyue's home, with a large pool below. The pool is surrounded by 10,000 years of mysterious ice, and if you take any of this ice out, you don't have to worry about not having any gold soul coins. A few people came to the basement, and Robin took out 6 stones and placed them on the water surface. He said to Luo Qingyue, Qingyue, go down into the water and stand in the middle of the stones. Luo Qingyue looked at the water surface with some hesitation. Luo Yulan saw her entanglement and said gently, Yue, don't worry, we are all the same. Don't forget, you are my birth. Upon hearing these words, Luo Qingyue immediately hesitated and jumped down from the pool. This place is covered with ice for thousands of years. If it were an ordinary person, even standing here wouldn't last long, let alone jumping into the water. However, the system has detected a large amount of icy power and is converting demon power for the host. The conversion of demonic power has been completed and energy is being absorbed. Luo Qingyue felt a cool sensation in the water, very comfortable. At this moment, Luo Qingyue's legs were undergoing changes. There is a bit of homework, and it's a bit late. I apologize, GT_LT Winky Face. End of this chapter. Chapter 4. Twin Martial Souls, Traverse Standard. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The source has no content or has errors. Chapter 5. Separation. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The source has no content or has errors. Chapter 6. Go to Nodding City. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 6. Go to Nodding City. A month later, Luo Yulan took Luo Qingyue to the blacksmith shop to find Tang Hao. Tang Hao, I'm leaving now. Could you please help me take care of Yue? I don't trust her to be alone, but I can't take her with me for now, Luo Yulan said anxiously. Tang Hao watched as the mother and daughter remained silent. He didn't want to take care of either of his own sons, so he wanted to take care of another one. Seeing that Tang Hao was silent, Luo Yulan took out her trump card from the ring and said, Tang Hao, I know you have always wanted to revive Ayin. This jade pendant contains the energy of the previous generation Blue-Silver Emperor. Placing it next to Ayin can accelerate her cultivation growth. As long as you are willing to help me take care of Yue, here, I can only rest assured of you. Tang Hao saw that Luo Yulan had taken out such a precious thing, and there was no other way to refuse. Alright, I'll help you. You and Ayin are also good friends. That's all for it, and I'll help you too. Upon seeing this, Luo Yulan was too lazy to expose him and said, then I'll leave it to you. Luo Yulan turned to Luo Qingyue and said, Yue, can you stay at Uncle Tang's house for the next 3 days and then go to Nodding City College with Tang San? Luo Qingyue nodded obediently and said, okay, mommy, take your time. Luo Yulan touched Luo Qingyue's head and said, that mommy has left. I have already told the village chief to help you handle the procedures for self-funded childbirth. After speaking, Luo Yulan left, leaving Luo Qingyue and Tang Hao staring at each other. So much so that when Tang San returned home, he saw a scene where his father was making iron while his good friend was watching, drinking, tea. Qingyue. Why did you come? Before Luo Qingyue could speak, Tang Hao beside him spoke first and said, "Third, you know this little girl too. From now on, she will temporarily stay at our house. You need to take good care of her. By the way, you can sleep with her at night. She's just a little girl, so it's probably scary." Tang San was a bit confused. "Okay, Dad." After realizing what he had agreed to, he nervously looked at Luo Qingyue, afraid that she would blame him for not asking her opinion. When Luo Qingyue heard Tang Hao's words, the corners of her eyes twitched slightly. "My mother gave you such a precious thing to take care of me, and you just handed it over to your son. Do you want to find such an excuse for not having any extra room? Oh, forget it, just to make mommy feel at ease, that's it." 3 days later, the village chief, Old Jack, came to pick up the two of them and went to Notting City. "Third, Qingyue, have you packed up? We're going to set off." Luo Qingyue replied, "All right, Grandpa Jack." Tang San kept the cooked congee warm and shouted into the room, "Dad, I have cooked congee in the pot. Remember to eat when you wake up." Then he looked at Old Jack and said, "Let's go, Grandpa Jack." Old Jack shook his head and said, "You child, your father is already in his 40s. Do you still think he's a giant baby and can't take care of yourself?" Tang San smiled but didn't speak. Luo Qingyue pursed her lips and said, "Cut, both Douluo and her other half have died. My mom is not decadent, he's a big man with a romantic mind. That's because he is a character in the novel, and his actions are all shaped by the author, not something he can decide. I know, just a few complaints, isn't it okay? I took mommy's things, but ended up ignoring me. It was Tang Xiaosan taking care of me." End of this chapter. Chapter 7. Arriving at Notting College. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 7. Arriving at Notting College. Just as everyone was speaking together, Old Jack suddenly spoke up and said, "By the way, Qingyue, I remember your mother refused the awakening of the martial soul. Where did you awaken the martial soul?" Luo Qingyue blinked and said, It was mommy who saved an elder from a major sect before, and because mommy had a grudge against the martial soul hall, she asked the people from that sect to help me awaken my martial soul." Old Jack didn't ask much, "What is your martial soul?" Luo Qingyue raised her right hand and only released her martial soul. "It's the fire on the other side, which can be considered a more powerful martial soul. I have innate soul power," she said. Upon hearing about his innate full soul power, Old Jack became mentally alert and said, "Are you also innate full soul power? Then you and the third party can both become soul masters. Soul masters are great, they earn a lot of money." Luo Qingyue nodded but didn't speak. Tang San, who was standing beside him, stared at the ball on Luo Qingyue's right hand, which was vaguely shaped like a fire of a certain flower. He thought to himself that Qingyue, like himself, had innate soul power. Could she also be a twin martial soul? The three of them walked with their own thoughts in mind and soon arrived at the city of Notting. Notting City is not a very prosperous city, even in modern terms, it is a small town. For Luo Qingyue, who has seen more bustling cities, there is not much to see here. But for Luo Qingyue, who has been staying in the village and has never left the village gate, all of this is very novel. So Luo Qingyue strolled left and right, buying a lot of things. Just as Tang San and Old Jack were struggling about how to get so many things, Luo Qingyue waved her right hand and the things disappeared. Both of them were surprised and said, "Qingyue, how did you do this? Where did all those things go?" Upon hearing this, Luo Qingyue, who had just finished shopping and was satisfied, remembered that these two people did not have storage rings. She explained, this is the storage ring left by my mom. As long as I inject soul power, I can use it to hold things. This way, I don't have to keep carrying such heavy things. Upon hearing this, the two nodded, indicating that they understood. In old Jack's heart, Luo Qingyue's mother was much more reliable than Tang Hao. The three of them arrived at Notting College and were about to enter when they were stopped by a security guard. The guard sneered at them and said, "Stop, this is Notting College, not a place where cats and dogs can enter." Luo Qingyue raised her eyebrows and almost forgot that there was also a scene where Yu Xiaojiang had just taken in an apprentice. So she wouldn't interfere and just watched the show with peace of mind. Sure enough, in the original book of Tang San, when he was about to kill the gatekeeper with his right hand raised, he was interrupted by a middle-aged man, and the gatekeeper apologized like in the original book. As soon as the guard was dispatched, old Jack was also sent back. When Yu Xiaojiang saw their martial soul certificates, he raised his eyebrows. Tang San bowed gratefully to Yu Xiaojiang and said, "Thank you, teacher, for just taking the initiative to save us." "I'm not a teacher in this college." Yu Xiaojiang waved his hand. Tang San was puzzled and said, "Since you are not a teacher, the gatekeeper just called you master. I believe you must be the dean or leader of this school." "Ha ha ha, kid, you're very smart, but you still guessed wrong. I'm just a resident of this college, but..." Yu Xiaojiang paused for a moment and said, "If you want, I can also be your teacher." Luo Qingyue watched the big show from the side, feeling a bit regretful as she thought, "Alas, I didn't buy melon seeds just now," which was a miscalculation. It seems that we need to prepare more melon seeds. Just as Luo Qingyue was thinking, Tang San had already recognized Yu Xiaojiang as his teacher. End of this chapter. Chapter 8. 7 rounds, plus change. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The source has no content or has errors. Chapter 9. Battle against Tang San. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 9. Battle against Tang San. Tang San frowned and said, "Isn't that too good? She's a girl, and my dad wants me to take care of her. Do you want me to go fight her now?" Wang Sheng and others did not expect that the two of them still had such a relationship. He said why a self-funded student came to Qisha, and the reason for his love was here. It's hard to see why this kid still had this affair. Upon hearing that Tang San was going to fight against him, Luo Qingyue hesitated for a moment. "You can fight him, the Heavenly Way won't care about these things, and you need practical combat experience, okay?" "It's okay, I also want to see my own strength," Luo Qingyue said to Tang San with a smile. Luo Qingyue stood up, habitually holding one hand behind her and raising the other slightly, making a gesture of invitation. "Come on, Tang Xiao-san, let me see our gap," she said. Seeing this, Tang San had no choice but to face the difficulties and said, "All right, you come first." "Okay, then be careful," Luo Qingyue said without being polite to him as she spoke. Luo Qingyue flashed and came behind Tang San, condensing her few demonic powers in her right hand and vigorously patting her forward. Tang San felt the murderous aura coming from behind and used ghost shadows to dodge. That force slammed towards the door, but the door didn't have such good luck and was smashed into pieces. And the people watching from the side couldn't help but sweat from behind. Hiss. Is this too harsh? If it were any of them, they wouldn't be able to avoid it. Tang San looked at the shattered door and couldn't help but feel grateful that he had just improved, otherwise, and Luo Qingyue was not surprised that Tang San avoided his attack. After all, with such a strong killing intent just now, any normal person would instinctively avoid it, let alone Tang San. "Qingyue, you're too ruthless." Luo Qingyue smiled slightly and said, "Otherwise, are you deliberately letting me win?" Tang San was not surprised at all that she could guess her intentions. After all, he couldn't bear to hurt her. "Next, I won't let you go." Luo Qingyue couldn't resist and disappeared in place with a turn. Upon seeing this, Tang San immediately opened the purple extreme demon eye. Unfortunately, Luo Qingyue knew that Tang San had the purple gold demon eye, so she used the spiritual skill taught by her master in her previous life. Ethereal and invisible. The best choice for escape. As it was her master's self-created spiritual skill, so to this day, no one can decipher it. Tang San saw that he couldn't find Luo Qingyue even after using the purple gold magic eyes, and his heart immediately stirred up a considerable wave. The next second, Tang San felt his body entangled by something. He looked down and saw a snow-white silver whip, with Luo Qingyue on the other end of the whip. "I won," Luo Qingyue said happily. Tang San said helplessly, "Alright, now that you're the boss, can Boss Luo let go of me?" Upon hearing this new title, Luo Qingyue felt a great mood. She proudly tilted her head and withdrew her whip. Okay, I'll spare you for now. You won't have such good luck next time." Tang San smiled and said, Okay, thank you to our boss Luo." In Tang San's smile, there was a hint of indulgence that he didn't even notice. Wang Sheng and others watched this scene with inexplicable toothache. "Humph, isn't it just bullying us to be single? Do you need to show off like this? Wait for me to find a child bride too, and see if Xiao won't kill you." The thoughts in Wang Sheng's heart were unknown to Luo Qingyue and Tang San. Just then, a female voice suddenly came from the door. "Hello, is this Qisha? It's even later, I hope you don't blame me, after all. Blaming me is useless, and next time you dare, to save your life." End of this chapter. Chapter 10. Xiaowu appears. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 10. Xiaowu appears. Upon hearing this, Luo Qingyue and others turned their heads to look at the door. At this moment, there was a little girl wearing pink clothes standing at the door, with a scorpion braid looking inside. Seeing the girl at the door, Luo Qingyue instinctively looked at Tang San and realized that he was watching Xiaowu. Luo Qingyue's eyes flickered as she chatted with the system in a muffled manner. "Is this the female lead appearing?" "Yes, that girl is Xiaowu." The system sensed that Luo Qingyue's emotions were not right, and said with confusion. "Your emotions are not right, are you trapped?" Upon hearing this, Luo Qingyue was taken aback. "What does that mean?" At this moment, Wang Sheng and others were waiting for Luo Qingyue, the new boss, to face off against the new girl. Tang San was stunned when he saw Luo Qingyue, thinking that she didn't want to fight the new little sister. He said, "Qingyue, if you don't want to fight, I can go on your behalf." Tang San thought he was helping Luo Qingyue out of the siege, but in reality, in Luo Qingyue's eyes, Tang San didn't want to fight Xiaowu, afraid she would bully her. Luo Qingyue refused with a dark face. "No need, I'll do it myself." Luo Qingyue said to Xiaowu, "I am the leader of Qisha. If you want to enter Qisha, then show your strength." As she spoke, she put on a welcoming posture and also wanted to see how much this silly and sweet female lead weighed. As soon as Xiaowu heard that she was going to fight, she immediately became excited and said with her eyes lit up, "Boss. It sounds quite fun. Are you going to fight? I love fighting the most." As she spoke, Xiaowu handed her package to Tang San and said, "Can you help me carry it?" Tang San instinctively took it over, and when he realized it, Xiaowu had already launched an attack on Luo Qingyue. Xiaowu exerted her strength and leaped, as if she were flying high. When Tang San saw Xiaowu kicking her leg down without hesitation, he couldn't help but sweat for Luo Qingyue. If this kick is not avoided, Qingyue will be in danger. Luo Qingyue's right hand condensed the fire on the other side, controlling the flames and preventing them from having such powerful killing power. Then Luo Qingyue grabbed the flame and made it look like a whip, swinging it towards Xiaowu. And Xiaowu saw Luo Qingyue using her martial soul, and immediately activated her martial soul. Unfortunately, it was still too late. Luo Qingyue's whip had already wrapped around Xiaowu's waist. With a gentle flick, Xiaowu flew out the door. Just as Xiaowu's face was about to hit the wall, Luo Qingyue was about to pull her, but a figure caught Xiaowu one step faster than her. After seeing who the figure was, Luo Qingyue pursed her lips, her eyes slightly drooped, and her long eyelashes covered her emotions, making it difficult to see what she was thinking. Are you worried about Xiaowu? After Tang San put down Xiaowu, he immediately took a few steps back and looked at Luo Qingyue with disapproval, saying, Yue, it's just a sparring between classmates. There's no need to put such a heavy hand on it. Tang San's disapproval in his eyes hurt her even more. I have a sense of propriety. I want to pull her, but you rushed out first. Is she so unreliable? Tang Sanqing was clear about her character, and of course knew that she was not intentional. She just wanted to be more careful next time. At this moment, a middle-aged man walked in holding a blanket and said, Who is the new student? Tang San wanted to pull Luo Qingyue up, but she avoided him. Mo Chen looked at the three of Luo Qingyue standing up and said, Who is Tang San? I am. Mo Chen handed him the blanket on his hand and said, This is what the master asked me to give you. You can come to me for anything in the future. Sorry, it's been half a month too late. Thank you very much to those babies who haven't given up on this book yet. Pen refill. It's been a long time since I read Douluo, and some things I forgot were changed according to my own ideas. End of this chapter.